Hi, my name's Benji and welcome to Dice vs Cards. Today we're looking at Kodama, the Tree Spirits, a 2 to 5 player competitive card placement game because you're going to be placing cards in the right orientation, in the right order, in order for you to create the most vibrant tree you can. There also is a set collection game because you need to place those cards so that you're getting multiples of butterflies and insects in order to get the most points possible. So you're caretakers of our little friends, and it's up to you to build the most vibrant forest, the most comfortable home for them all over the course of 3 seasons. So let's see how this plays and whether this could be the next game for you. So the object of the game is to be the player with the most points after 3 seasons of play. You're each going to start with the trunk of your tree card, and then each time you pick one of these branch cards, there's always going to be 4 to choose from, but obviously you then pick them in turn order. You'll also be dealt 4 Kodama cards, and these are kind of like bonus objectives that you're going to pick one from each season. And then each season will also come with its own decree. So if you like a global effect that will take place on that particular season. You've then got the Kodama deck here that you're going to use to refill these branch cards, and then you're good to go. So each season you're going to be picking 4 of these branch cards, and each player will get a turn to pick first, and you'll alternate that around the table. But when you do, you're going to be picking one of these branch cards and then adding it as an extension to one of the tree trunks here. So you'll use that visual cues for that, and you just need to make sure it looks like it's a growing tree and the branch continues to grow throughout. So the only limitations is you can't place cards that will overlap those that come off of other branches, but other than that it's pretty intuitive how you can place these cards and make it look like an ever-growing tree. So once you've picked, you're also going to score points for placing that card. And there are actually 6 possible different objects found on these cards, and you're going to score points any time there's a particular type of objects in a contiguous line of cards throughout your tree. So let's just say you'd also added this one. When you place this card, there's a fireflies, caterpillars and stars. So you then add that firefly to the fireflies found on the card adjacent to it, and any that would continue in a contiguous line down to the trunk card. So in this example it's going to get us 1, 2, 3 points for those 3 fireflies, but you can also see we've got caterpillars here, 1, 2 and 3, so that's 6 points just from these 2 cards. So you'll do that 4 times each season, and I've made it look a little bit cramped here just so as to get everything on screen, but you can certainly sprout out your tree any which way from this trunk card. So once you pick 4 cards, that denotes the end of the season, and with those 4 Kodama cards then you're going to see which one's going to give you the most bonus points based on what the text says here. So for example, this one says score a point for each cloud or star on your tree. So you'll determine how you've grown your tree in that season and pick a card that's going to get you the most points. As the game goes on, you can never score more than 10 points anytime you place a branch card. So at some point it will behoove you to start building or growing your tree out in different directions. But all 3 seasons remain the same in that regard, and it's then at the end of the 3rd season, the player with the most points is the winner. So that's how this game plays. What did I think of it? So who is this for? Well, it's undoubtedly a lightweight game and it's super easy to learn and get to the table. It's also cute as a button. So perhaps you like organised chaos, because that's what this game looks like when you've finished. The way you've strewn the cards all over the table actually is fairly organised. Perhaps you're bored of the tedium of everything being just so when you play tile placement games. You want to let it loose, let your hair down a bit. Then there might be something here for you. So you might want to consider this if you liked lanterns, the Harvest Festival or Micropolis. So both of them share similar mechanics, the former more so, and the latter still wants you to build that route and get the most of a certain type of object. So there's some similarities with both. In terms of gameplay, well, this is a really simple game set over 3 seasons. It's a fantastic little idea, but little being the operative word. Is there enough here to say, yeah, this is a great game? Well, pretty much almost. You know, when you start with that great little idea, you also got to execute it well. And one of the things that this game easily could have fallen foul of was what I'll call in spatial design. You look at the art, you think, I'm going to be placing these cards, they're going to be tripping over each other, overlapping each other. And I know the game allows for that, different branches to overlap them, but I thought that might be a point of frustration. But you can actually quite comfortably spread off with those branches and not have many issues with overlapping. The artwork seems to accommodate an element of it, and I just think they've got that absolutely spot on. The main issue I probably have with the game is that there's not much evolution in the 3 seasons. Yes, you've got the decrees that have a different global effect on the game state, but there's just what you're going to be doing in season 1 is what you're going to be doing in season 3, probably potentially off on another branch. So there's not much evolution in the game at all. And it's a lightweight game. How much do you expect? Well, I think there was some opportunities here that could have allowed for that sort of thing, for you to feel like you're growing throughout the game and you're building towards something, not just in a very straight line like it is on show here. So it is super easy to learn, get to the table. Player scaling's fine. You can play, you know, probably best between 2 and 4, but it accommodates up to 5. This, as an overall package, has done a really good job, like I said, with a very small and simple idea. There are certainly more pros and cons, and I only highlighted 2 or 3 of them, but this isn't a game without its drawbacks. So we talked finally about the look and feel and theme of the game, and if you're going to be creating a cute title like this, then it better look good. And so I'm happy to say that production quality and component quality is of a really high standard. And that artwork, which is actually a little bit different, works perfectly for the theme that they're going for here. And that theme, there's a little bit of fluff in the rulebook, and there's enough immersion when you're playing to get that surface level theme and appreciate it while doing so. So with all that being said, Dice vs Cards can give a final score of 7 out of 10. Now this isn't a game explicitly intended for a children's audience, but I would suggest if it was, then it'd get a slightly higher score. So that's it from me. I'll see you next time.
Kodama are spirits in Japanese folklore that inhabit trees, similar to the dryads of Greek mythology. The term is also used to denote a tree in which a Kodama supposedly resides. Ah, education.